Today, I'm going to show you how to make some really cute little earrings that are going to be a Santa's elf design. We're going to be just using a few little head pins, some ear wires. It's a nice, simple, quick little design. It doesn't take too long. So if you get our little kit, you'll get our fantastic Christmas earrings, Christmas crystal earrings collection booklet, which if you have a little look, a 16-page booklet that we have there that really just goes through the whole process, tells you all the different things that you will be getting, what you'll be making, the tools that you'll need. All sorts of things are inside here. It shows you all the different designs and how to make them. The 7 different designs there, I've just realized I haven't stapled this one. We've got the little snowman, there's the candles in here, you've got your crystal angels as well, your little nutcracker toy soldier, you've got icicles in there, which I think are really cute. You've also got your Santa's hat in there too, and keep going, there's more pages. We've got little Santa's elf that we're going to be making today, and loads of different techniques and all of that. It's all inside here. So there's all those different little designs. So each one comes in its own individual little bag so that you don't have to go trying to find exactly which ones. It's not like when you buy a big Lego kit and it all just comes in one big jumbled bag and you have to go looking for things. It's all going to be labeled for you and all the bits are in there. So this is the little fella we're going to be making today, Santa's elf. Currently, Santa's elf is disassembled. So let's begin and start making this cute little fella just here. What do we think? Do we think it's a female elf or do we think it's a male elf? Don't know. Let's have a look. What do you guys think? First things first, when it comes to making our little elf piece just here, we're going to start by making essentially what is a little piece that is going to be both for the head and the body. Then we need to make our arms and our legs. One head pin, which will be for our body, that goes right down the middle there. Then we're going to have one for the arms, one for the other arm, and then one for each little leg. See that? Hey look, it's a headpin stick man. So this is going to be sort of the basis of our little person here that we're making. And with these, we can just thread the beads on and make these teeny weeny little loops. So first things first, let's start with the arms, shall we? They're nice and easy. So using our little beads just here, just separate them out. These are the heads, obviously. Our little white socks are going to be one red, one white, and one red, like so. Then the other leg will be the same. One red, one white, one red. Or do you prefer the white legs or do you prefer red legs? Oh, I forgot the 4th bead. Ha, sorry. So yeah, it's going to be, there we go, red, white, red, or... So what do you reckon? Should we do the whites first or should we do the reds first? It can go either way, but then they will have little green booties at the bottom. So we can go either way. See, look, make sure you do them both the same though. These are going to be our little legs. So first things first, let's thread them on. So I think I will go. So we need to do our foot first, the little shoe. So just thread that straight onto your little head pin there and slide it down. Then let's go white. No, I think I'll go red, white, red, and then white. Yes, I think this is a nice little leg. What do we think? Do you prefer red, white, white? Or do you prefer white, red, white, red? It's up to you. It's entirely up to you which way you prefer it. So if I just grab out my tool set here, we're going to be using tool wires, our round nose pliers. So these ones just here. So I want to make nice, fine little loops. So because these have lovely fine tips at the end here, I'm going to be using the very, very top to create our loops. I probably will need my cutters just here as well, and I might need my gripping pliers. We'll see how we go. I don't think I will. If the tool set also includes wire straighteners, but I've already pre-straightened my my little head pins, so we're not going to need to worry about that. So anyway, now that we have this one, we're going to create the first little loop at the top of the head pin here. So the way I like to do this, these are relatively stiff head pins, so they're nice and firm. We can just get your fingernail, or you can use that gripping plier if you prefer, but I find that if you use your fingernail, you'll get a closer finish, and then just bend the wire over like that to a 90 degree. See that? Just like that there. So you can do all of them at the same time if you want to, just sort of do all of the tasks at the very same time. So all the limbs, do the limbs, then do the bending, then do the The whole process, sort of like that. So there we go. There's the next limb. And I'll grab the next 2 head pins as well, and I'll even do the arms while I'm here. So we've got our little legs, our arms. They've got 4. We've got a little crystal for the very, very end for the first hand. And 1, 2, 3, 4 little green beads just there for matching our little green crystal body piece. So just keep it nice and straight, get your finger in there like that, your fingernail against it, and bend. 90-degree angle, just like that. Perfect. Then we'll do one more little head pin, which again, we will do the other hand, so through there, and then we'll just pick up 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Let me just get that out the way. Slide that on down. And once again, I'd like to put my index finger along the things because this helps to sort of keep it straight. And then if you can just bend this finger here into place, sort of so it's perpendicular, squeezing this into a straight shape at the bottom. And then when you bend it against, it helps to keep this little part straight as well. So that works quite nicely, doesn't it? So let's pop that down. We've got our limbs all like this now. So what we're going to do is try and create our little loops just here. So if we just come on in a bit closer, we're only going to make relatively small loops, so we don't need to have too much excess wire. We want to make sure we don't cut it too short, but especially for the legs and the limbs and the arms and stuff, we only want to make a single loop. So let's just, we'll cut it about here. So this is about a centimeter or a little bit less than half an inch or so from the beads, and just hold on to it, give it a nice cut with your cutters, and there we go. Drop that off. So this is going to give us just a nice tiny little bit that we can work with to create our loop. So if we bring in our round nose pliers just here, we can just pinch them. So I'll zoom out and show you my technique for doing this. So the way I would do this is not like this. I turn my wrist over. It looks kind of awkward, like my hand is upside down. It's kind of as twisted, as far twisted as I can get it over the back. So if I have it like this, for example, twist it as far as you can this way, sort of thing. That way you can then use the torsion of your wrist to just roll, and you can get the whole loop in one go. So if I show you what I mean, let's get it nice and close to the top there so that we can get it a nice small loop. And then with that weird over twist, as much as you can twist, let's just roll it all the way over like that. And in one motion, you can pretty much get your loop perfect. Look at that. That's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that little loop there. That's not too bad. So now, once you've got it fairly close, you can just come in, make it a bit neater, just play with it, rotate it a bit more, and just get it to sit nicely on top of those little beads at the top there. Make sure your limb stays fairly straight, like this. And that is pretty much done and dusted. Just try and make sure, see how this one, it's not quite aligned with the metal yet. Just using your gripping pliers is probably best for this. Just come on in and align it nicely. There we go. See, look, now it's pretty much straight. See that? And touching. So that gives us a nice, you can just bend it to be dead straight there. There we go. Look at that. And now you can see it's touching just at the very, very edge of our loop there. And we have our first little leg limb there. Looks good, doesn't it? So there we go. So now we'll do exactly the same again with our next one. Now, to make sure you try and get consistent loops so that all the loops are the same size, what I recommend doing, which I didn't do just then, is cutting them all at the same size. So once you've gone, yep, this is the size of loop I want, get all of your pieces and go, yep, let's cut it to about there. Then go and grab the next one. So just put this down. See that? This is going to be the size of this. Carefully put it down so that it doesn't slip off or anything, and then we can go and get our next one and we can compare the length. See this? So there's this one here. We need to cut it around about here. This will give us a nice consistent size. So again, let's just give that a cut. And ready? So that's 2 now. Now we'll do our third one. Again, round about here. So if we get it nicely sitting, whoops, don't get it too far out the way. There we go. Get this one out of the way too. There we are. So now we can just, once again, come on in, and that's going to give us the same sort of size. Once you've got it in position, you can just cut that, and there you are. There. They're fairly consistent. They're not exactly the same, but that's close enough. Now, another thing, when you do that, don't throw these bits away. You can, like, make stuff with these. You can make little links and connectors and stuff. Like, for example, if you turned it so that you created a loop on this end, you can thread a bead down and put another loop on this end, and you can make little pieces with these. So these little bits like this, little connectory bits, you can make those. Don't throw them away. Never be wasteful. There's always things that you can do with your little off-cut bits. So keep that there, and we will keep that for some other time. Now, another thing that you might want to do, which is up to you, you can use a permanent marker. I know people do this. That if you want to get a nice consistent size, you could just get a permanent marker and mark the edge of your tool to say, this is the size for where I want to get like a, this is, and then all you'd have to do is line up to where you put your marker. And then every time you'll get the same size loop. Because, for example, if you didn't do that and you put it here, you'd get a smaller loop. If you accidentally put it there, you get a bigger loop, where you want to try and get it as consistent as possible. So if you put a line with like marker pen or something like that, you can get that really consistent size. So I'm not doing that today, but it's another good tip for if you've got lots to make. So anyway, there we go. I've got my rolled over wrist, holding it in place, keeping the beads with these fingers in my other hand here, and then just roll it all the way over. One torsion of the wrist, and then that's a pretty good loop once again. So now we have, whoops, nearly put all my beads all over the place. That would have been a disaster. We have 2 little legs and 2 little arms. So now we can just put these out of the way. Let's make our little body piece. So the body piece is essentially going to be, we'll take our 5th little headpin here, and what we're going to do is just create a little loop at the bottom. So this little head of our headpin, the little end there, we don't need that little piece anymore. So if I just take my little cutters just here, put them there, and just cut that little head off. So you know how I was talking about how you can reuse these? Essentially what I'm about to do now is going to be a way that you can do exactly the same thing as what I was suggesting, but we're going to do it with a slightly bigger piece to start with. You would probably be able to use one of these even. It would be big enough, I reckon. But anyway, let's grab ourselves our little pliers just here. Let's do a full rotation of the wrist, put that piece in there, and we want to get it to about the same point where we've been doing it all along, and just one nice tidy roll all the way over on the end of that. So see how it's now sideways? We can take our little piece just here, like this. So we are going to have to loop it a little bit further, but we can use this tool. If you do it at like a 45-degree angle, so that our loop is sort of up straight, there's sort of like the top of our loop, the middle of that loop part, we can just bend this downwards until it's fairly straight. So see that? That's a good way. It's going to need to be closed over a little bit more when you do that, but it does help to give you a fairly straight little pin. So if I just hold it up this way, let's zoom out a bit so the focus doesn't go. And now all I've got to do is just bend it around just a teeny weeny bit. And that will give me a lovely little loop at the end of my work here. See? Not too bad. What do we think? So there we go. We're going to just slide that down. This is going to be the body of our little person just here, our little elf. Now we're going to take our limbs. So let's put the first limb on. You put the second limb on. Slide them down like so. So there's those there. Then we have our little satin glass pearl bead, which, as Jan suggested, you could paint a little face on there. That's a fun idea. I do like that idea. So now we can just pop that down just there, and we're going to give them their little elf hat. So we have a red crystal just here, and finally one last little white seed bead at the very, very top. So that looks quite good, doesn't it? Pop that down there. Try and get it relatively firm like this. So we want them to be, arms out like this as much as possible, and we're going to do another loop right here at the top. So once again, we want it to be sitting close to our beads. So pinch this little bit in here, get your thumb in there as well, so it's like being pinched between your index and thumb, and then just give that a little bend. There we are. Try and get it down nice and close if you can, like that. And we'll give this a little cut to the same sort of size once again. We could have done this a bit earlier, but that's all right. So there's that same sort of size that we were after, and we'll just cut off the excess. So just very gently break that off. There we go. So now I can create that next little loop. So let's do the exact same thing. Twist your wrist as far as you can. Put that nicely in here. Sounds like my printer's going off. And then, put that down there. Let's just roll that all the way over. And this particular time, we can roll it just a teeny bit further because we want it to try and be pushing this little bead down into place. So just loop it in. There we go. And you can see it's almost pushing, keeping those beads pressed down. Like so. Let's just spread our little friend's arms there. See like that? That's giving us a nice little press just there, which we can, at the end, attach our ear wire. But this little end piece here, this little loop we pushed in, is just helping to keep that nicely pressed down just there. So good. Looks good, doesn't it? So now all we have to do is attach our legs to this loop at the bottom here. Using that plier, just twist that outwards. See? See that? So it's twisted outwards. Now we can just go 1 and 2. Put them on, and we're going to just undo the motion that we did. So that will bring it back into position, exactly where it was, back in there, nice and straight again, and that's going to give our elf its little legs. There we go. So look at that, 2 little legs. Now, there's only 2 more little steps that we have to do now. Don't forget, of course, if you're enjoying this tutorial, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. There's plenty of fun tutorials. This one's a really basic one. There's plenty more. We do more complicated things all the time. We do easy and difficult and all sorts. There's something for everybody. So anyway, let's do the rest of this little fella now. All we have to do is just grab your little ear wire there, and we're going to just bring in our tool. And just like before, if we just slide this up, you can see there is our little edge. So this part here, see, it comes around there and it ends here. So we want to grab that whole side. See that? Like this, all of it. See, I'm grabbing the whole section and just open it up like that. Now we can slide our little person on and then just undo the motion of what we've just done. Whoop, straight back until it's nicely aligned. I find if you go just a little bit past, wiggle it into position, it should sit fairly nicely. And then there we go. We have our very, very cute little person doing the splits currently. Here we are. So now, when we want, there's one last thing to do. What do you reckon that is? Because people don't usually stand with their arms out like this. What we're going to do is just use our fingers and against the body, just bend that little arm down to give it a more curved shape, a bit more natural for a little person. And then same again on the other side, just bend that down towards the body. Just press it. You can even get right to the bottom. And there we are. Our little elf now is in position. And how cute is that? It's so nice. I really, really like this little person. Let's just get them there. Because when they're hanging, they'll look like this. The little legs dangle really nicely, quite freely, which is good. And then those little soft arms there as well just sit nicely side by side. So all you have to do is then make a second one, just like this little one here. And then, hey presto, Merry Christmas, put them on, and you can start wearing them. So because the little kit that this comes with actually makes 7 different pairs of earrings, what you can do, which I think is a fantastic idea, this was suggested to me by Maxine actually, is what you can do is when you're sending people their Christmas cards, what you can do is just pop these in with your Christmas card and say, Merry Christmas, here's some nice little earrings to come with my Christmas card to you. So just pop that in with a Christmas card. They're relatively flat so that they will fit, and then there you go. Merry Christmas. There's a nice, easy little present that can go with your Christmas card to whomever you wish to send it. So a nice, easy, inexpensive way. Costs hardly more than the card, probably. But you're giving them something that they can wear. Just to show you very, very quickly the other designs in our kit, there's this gorgeous crystal angel with the wings. That's another one. We have the icicle, which I think just looks fantastic. It's so sparkly. If I can just move that one, you can see how nice that is. Look at that. So yeah, these ones really, really catch the eye just because they're so big, sparkly crystals. That's the icicle. We also have Santa's little, like a Santa's hat. See how it's got that little hanging one just there that looks really cute? And then we've got a nice little bicone. So it looks like a nice Santa hat on top of a nice crystally little head there as well. We've got our snowman, which is very, very cute. I really like this one. We've used very, very good quality, high quality, lovely crystals with this one. To make this one, and it even has a really nice little check glass 3mm bead there at the top to give our little snowman a top hat. I think that one's really nice. But yeah, it's all about the quality of materials on this one. We've gone for lovely quality to make them extra nice. This one is possibly my favorite, which is the candle. Mainly because of how nice that little flame bead is. What do you think? Which one's your favorite? Come on, everyone. Comment down below. Tell me which one is your favorite. This one is the candle, and then the last one is our little toy soldier nutcracker just there, which I think is a super fun one as well. So there you go. Those are the different designs. There are 7 designs. So come on, everyone. Let me know. Comment. Tell me which one is your favorite. I would like to know. But yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of today's tutorial. If you have never seen it before, or our channel, that is, don't forget, of course, to like and share and subscribe, but also to comment on our videos. If you comment, they go, wow, this must be a good video. Loads of people are commenting on it. Let's spread it. But yeah, thank you all once again very much for watching. Have a lovely weekend, and we will see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.